Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining this session. Today's session is actually, my name is Harpal, by the way, Harpal Kocher. I'm a college counselor and I've been part of Science Gurus and the team for a while. This is a series on financial or college admissions planning for students. And I felt a unique part of this is talking about parental involvement. Usually what happens is around this time in college, especially college applications for immigrant students or first generation students who are paired to immigrant parents, the first thing the students feel is that parents don't know anything. They didn't grow up in the system, so they don't feel connected with us in some ways. And I had the same problem with my daughters growing up, where they were like, well, you don't understand the AP system and yada yada yada. But I figured it out, I learned it. But there are things, even if you don't know the process all the way, there are things around time management, around interviewing skills, around confidence building, around mental depression, mental health, where parents can play a very, very critical role. I would say if the parents don't have a critical role to play, the child is pretty much screwed in this process, because this process is very, very hard. So get involved as much as you can with your child in the process. Be upfront with the child, make them a partner with you. What happens typically around the time when the college applications are happening, the child literally will stop talking to you. They are under so much stress. There'll be a lot of fights in the house, lots of aggression. Shreya and I literally didn't talk for a whole month in the month of October. We would talk through just the Google apps and where I would look at her applications. But I know parents, like some of my own students who come to me. I actually have one student, she won't come on the phone at the same time when her dad's on the line. So very clear about it that, we can't have him on the call with me. Then I have other parents where the parents are not allowed at all on the call. So they only work through the my to-do list, which I make with the students. And this is okay. That things do happen where students cannot relate with the parent, but there are still things which parents can do. And that's what the goal of this session today is. Okay. Tips really is in the process is, if you don't want to get into arguments with your child over college essays and stuff, you got to be with them sooner in the process. Like, for example, with Shreya, I used to help her with the National History Day projects. And so she used to build a lot of things working closely with me. So she knew I could help her in a lot of ways. So we had built that process in place from 9th grade and 10th grade onwards itself. So when it came to college apps, the relationship was already there. She knew I could correct her essays and give her good perspectives on it. And she just worked very closely with me. Okay. Put them in the habit of coming to you for time management, to putting like many times I see my students don't even use the Google Calendar. I'll put meetings on their calendar and they'll say, I don't check my calendar, which pretty much, in other words, is telling me you're not a calendar driven person, which is a problem. If you don't have a task list with you on a weekly basis, monthly basis, which you're going to get over, that's a problem. Okay. Arranging for these regular 10-minute consultations with your child, thinking, okay, I'm just here not to judge you. What are you planning to get done this week and next week? Let's write it down, or I will write it down. And I'm just going to ask you that. I'm not going to judge you if you're not done. I just want to keep a check with you. Help them get organized. They just don't know. Organization in an Excel spreadsheet, in a Google Sheet, is something which students honestly don't know. So they really need your help. Just be realistic. Don't kill them. This is your time to either make your relationship 3 times better or screw it up forever. Okay, it's your call. What you want to do. Your student is the CEO. He's the boss of their career. Okay. And I have always been very clear with my daughters is that you will decide your career. You will decide what you want. You want to become a janitor, you can become a janitor. You want to be a plumber, you can become one. You want to be an ace engineer, you can be one. You just tell me where you want to go and I'll help you. But this was always my problem with my father. He was way too involved in my crap and I hated it. Okay. My mom was very disengaged. So it really worked out well for us for a relationship standpoint. But, berating children in front of others, other parents, other students, trying to compare them with each other doesn't help, only creates more problems down the line. Work through your admissions counselor. Like I am typically a conduit for many parents to deal with their children at this time of the year or these last 2 years. And so literally a lot of the hard conversations happen with me and I have them with the child versus the student and the parent going at each other. There was a time when we had a counselor for Shreya, Elizabeth. I would literally yell and do all my yelling with Elizabeth, saying, why is she not putting this college on the list? And why is she not doing it? And Elizabeth would fight back with me, why, with a good rational reason. So we spared Shreya a lot of, problems in the last few weeks of the applications, because it's a very hard time for the parents and the child. Okay. Hold the consultant to the milestones, okay, not the on the quality, not the child. So work with your consultant saying, why is the quality not up to speed, and what are you expecting from the child? So let the consultant be the, the punching bag in some ways, okay? Don't ever yell, divide the tasks with your child. You know what project management skills are like. Students don't know jack about project management. They know basic assignments. They're masters of doing their assignments on time, but they still don't have project management skills. They don't know what Gantt charts are. They don't know when a project is delayed, how the other one gets through. Teach them that and do that. Literally build a Gantt chart for them. I do that for my students all the time. As they're talking, I'm building a spreadsheet. So better than telling them, build a spreadsheet, is do that for them for the first time. They will love you. They will pick it up and they'll kind of build it in their process. Teach them interviewing skills. It's a very important part of the application process, is calling professors, calling admissions committees and having a conversation with them. Just building your people, the people who are going to help you, champion your case with the college. So teach them those skills. And I have whole documents on interviewing skills for students. Investigating lists, if you think it's overwhelming to look at a list of 100 colleges, your child is going bonkers looking at that list. So help them by it. If a counselor gives you a list of 100 colleges to look through, do your research. I used to do this with Shreya. I would say, okay, you take 10 colleges, I'll take 10 colleges, and let's come back tomorrow. She would come back with 2 colleges and I would do the 18 colleges, but at least she would do 2 colleges, which would, give me hope that she'll get better down the line. So help them with that. I used to take a lot of notes, like when we would sit through college interviews and meetings, listening to the professors and stuff, if I listened, I would take copious amount of notes. And that helped Shreya a lot with writing a supplemental essays. And we just became really close as a team, because I could write, I could do a lot of note taking. I was a lot more organized, and she picked up a lot of those skills from me. Put all the documents in one place, like have a Google Drive folder, which is shared between you and the child, where you know what documents you're putting in, what they're putting in, right? And do that, have access to their email, or create a special email account from where you're reaching out to all the colleges. So everything that's coming on the email alias, you can see it as well. So can the child. I've got all kinds of notes about that as well.
So you were mentioning about college interviews, right? So is it like a college touring, or it's a calling the admission committee and talking to them?
That's a good question. So many colleges, particularly the liberal arts schools and good schools like Georgetown, they will literally force the process of interview with an alumni or with an admissions officer as a part of the application. Okay, some schools will make it optional, saying you can come through an interview with our AdCom, as a part of it. Do not stay away from that. Teach your child to go through the interview skills. I actually have a full-on document which I make my students go through. I actually go through the entire mock interview with them before they go in front of the alumni or in front of the admissions team. But this is, it's there. This process exists, and you just, like I said, the public universities do not have it. Most private universities will have it in one form or the other. Is that the question you were asking, or did I answer the question?
Yes, you
answered. All right, sounds good. Okay, so project management skills, like standard thing, right? Like just putting together a list of the colleges. Do they require SAT, ACT? What is their essays like? Like in this case, you can see in this prompt, what is the essay prompt? Have we completed it? Does it require common app or requires a coalition app? UC apply, how much have we finished of the application, prioritizing it down, like, okay, this is the date it has to be submitted. Let's prioritize which one is most important to us. This is standard stuff which parents can do very, very quickly, or an admissions counselor can do it. Most counselors are, not arithmetic oriented, they're very academia oriented, so they don't go as detailed as this. I tend to go a lot more detailed because I'm just math oriented, right? So this is just who I am. But just, pick up these skills, give them to your child, these project management skills. Like I said, I have all these documents, and I'll make these available in the classroom. Interviewing with the college alumni, how do you do it? Not rocket science, but this same document, this same link, if I should send it to a student, ain't going to happen. They will not look at it because this is overwhelming for them. It is completely new territory for them. Parents have at least gone through 5-10 interviews in their life. So, this becomes easier for us to do it. Okay.